to tell you, you were like, hey, let's go out and look in the camper and make a plan. And so we were walking out here through the snow, and I had this flashback to coming out to work on our old camper and dread of just like, oh, I just don't even want to go out there. But it was this like exact time.
So you're super excited is what you're saying.
No, I was just, and then I was like, no, it's not that camper. It's the new camper. It's not so bad.
So you know what today is, right?
Was it a year ago?
It was a year ago that we got that old camper.
Wow. It's amazing the difference a year can make.
Not
right?
you, Dawn and Tom, you silly kids.
Yeah. And still, all of you that said, hey, you should rent a camper before you commit.
We don't rent stuff.
And it wasn't even that. It was, I mean, we decided against that layout, but like, I mean, we just didn't know we bought a camper with so much water damage.
Because it was frozen.
Because it was frozen. This camper we knew had water damage.
And the price reflected it.
But today we want to show you, we've actually been working on the boys' bedroom a little bit, so we want to give you an update on that. But then also we're kind of just working through our game plan with getting this camper ready to hit the road again, because we're hoping in February to go south. And so, which actually isn't that far away, and I'm a little worried about how much work we have to do. So we'll show you what we have to do and what our plan is coming up. So do you want to recap real quick how we, when we got this camper and what our plan is with it?
We bought this camper in June or July of last year. I found it on Marketplace before we sold our old one, and I was in contact with the gal. It had water damage, and it was much newer than anything we had ever even considered getting, and much bigger, but it had water damage, so the price was right in our ballpark. So we sold the old camper, we went and looked at this camper. Like when we looked at it, I think we both thought, this camper is super nice outside of the water damage.
Yeah, besides, like, I literally stepped back on the spot in the bedroom where the floor was rotten. I lost my balance because I was like,
it was legit.
Oh, it's like
you could like actually push it with your finger, and you could have just finger pushed right through the floor.
Yeah.
So it was really bad. And
which worked out.
We're like, all right, that's cool.
Then for us.
Yeah, it has every option you could ask for. It's a 33-foot long camper. Has a bunkhouse in the back, a bedroom up front for us, one big slide. It's a nice camper.
I mean, truly, the only thing we had to do with it was to fix the spots on the floor,
which we did,
that were rotten, and then figure out where the water's coming in. And we really could have left it like that, used it and enjoyed it. But it is...
We don't do that.
It's fun for us to make it over. I mean,
we like to pick at something until we make it all new ourselves.
So, you know, it's fun to just update it. We wanted to, and we did before we kind of parked it for the year, we did rearrange the bedroom area. So we rotated the bed. Yeah,
so this back here was a doorway. So you would have a doorway on each side of the bed, and the bed was turned this way. We turned the bed this way, put it up into the corner, built a wall here. So there's just one entrance now, and then we put drawers underneath it so that we can put our clothes underneath it, and then we have one upright cabinet.
And so, and the other motivation behind doing that is that it's not actually a full-size queen bed in a camper, like Tom's feet like hung off the end. And so this allowed us to put a full-size mattress in, but also made the storage much more functional than two hanging rods on each side of the bed. So we finished that this past fall. We had gone out just to the North Shore in Minnesota right after Labor Day. And so we kind of got to test it out. Tom had gotten the new flooring in, you know, fixed the water damage on the inside. There's still some stuff to do on the outside. We got the bedroom rearranged, and so we got to try it out, and it went really well that first trip.
Yeah, did we only take this on one trip? Is that the only trip we took this on?
Yeah, and so we were gone for 4 or 5 days, and it was kind of cold out when we were gone, but we stayed warm. The kids liked it. They've always liked like the bunkhouse in the back, and we liked how the bedroom area was set up now. And
the other camper, we didn't use the hybrid aspect of it, so we put a mattress on the floor and would sleep on the floor. So in the morning when the kids would get up, like it was, we are having to get up when they wake up, otherwise they're walking on us.
Yeah.
So this way, like, I mean, we get like 6 or 7 more minutes.
Yeah. And we just felt, you know, the living space is a little bit bigger. The other one felt a little bit tight when we were all inside. This one, it felt like, even when it was cold out, so we were having to spend a little more time inside.
It has higher ceilings, which I liked. It has a polar package on it, so basically it has better insulation and coating under the entire trailer. It's a beast. So we pulled this with a 2005 Ford Excursion that has a 4-inch lift and 35-inch tires on. So it's a pretty big SUV, biggest they've ever made. And it looks like a tiny thing in front of this.
It is big. It feels a little ridiculous when we look at it from the outside, like, that's a really big camper. But
it's a big camper.
It is comfortable, and our hope is to use it for a couple weeks in February. So it'll be fun for that, and it'll be really good. So what we want to do before we take it out again is we do want to paint the interior, and we'll paint it just a light color. We're not exactly sure yet.
But first we have to prime everything. So that's I mean, we have to prime it all, so then we can decide color after that. Yeah,
and I do want to use, we had gotten this print, the National Parks map, and has different greens and stuff in it. So I think we're going to kind of use that for our color scheme. We are going to keep, Tom really wanted to keep the dinette and the couch in the slide. In our last camper, we had taken out the dinette and we put in that counter, which I loved how it functioned. This space is a little bit different, and it has a really good size dinette that's a little bit easier to get in and out of. So for now, I'm okay leaving it, but then we kind of have to work with these olive colors that are in here, and so, which is fine.
Are you sure you wouldn't consider painting it?
Well,
don't you say yes. Don't
anyways,
say yes.
Not totally. I have a different idea. So we'll get to that. Not today, a different day. We'll get to that. So I want to use that for the color scheme. I know a lot of people are like, why would you go through all of this work to like paint it? It made a night and day difference in our last camper with how bright and open. Even though this one has a lot of windows, it still doesn't always get super bright in here. And the paint made a gigantic difference with how like bright and open it felt.
So the one thing that we will have to figure out is on our last camper, we took out all of these things that go around the blinds.
Windows, yeah.
We can't do that on this camper because the curtains or the blinds or whatever are actually hung from it.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out that.
Yeah.
Because I know you want them to go away.
Yeah, so we'll, you know, sometimes you see like people build like a wood boxing then around them. We do want to paint the cabinets too, again, just to kind of update it. So really a lot of painting is going to be the most labor intensive. I want Tom on this doorway that we had to close up, I want him to put like some board and batten on it just to kind of match the pattern that's on that center thing. And because I just can't get enough board and batten,
I feel like you're Joanna Gaines with shiplap. Yeah. Shiplap, shiplap, shiplap. Board, batten.
So we also knew when we bought it that there was some delamination on the outside, which just means the outer coating was separating it from...
Just means.
It's just a really tiny,
okay, so basically what delamination in a camper means is that moisture got between the gel coat exterior and the plywood framing on the inside, and it separated those two materials from each other. Which some people think that then if a camper gets like that, it's garbage. You can actually repair it. You can inject an epoxy in it and re-laminate it back together. Good as new. But that's kind of a big deal. I have all the epoxy to do that.
We just probably won't have time
I just know that I have a lot of work to the Excursion to do too.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in the slide right now, and it does not have an awning over it. So
what you see in a lot of newer campers is they have that awning that comes out with the slide, and so Tom got one that's wider than our slide, so the hope is that that will, now that he's got the floor fixed, that'll keep new water from coming in and re-rotting out the floor again, which would be a bummer. But as far as the delamination, probably not time to fix that before we go, and so we just gotta try and stay out of the rain and we'll be totally fine.
Yeah, no problem.
That's all. No, it's I mean, that's a slow process thing, right? I mean, one trip isn't going to be like, oh no, now we completely ruined the camper.
The delamination?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, and none of it's like, I've seen, so when I started researching, you see the worst of the worst cases. People's like, gel coat, which would be like the exterior layer you see like flopping in the wind, and they like tape it back on and stuff like that. Yeah. This is nowhere near like that.
Just grab the duct tape, honey, and we're good to go.
Tape all them seams up.
Yep, we got it.
Hey, whatever works.
So we'll show you the process, and it does feel good, at least that we've done one before now, and so I think we have a good idea of the products we need, how long it's going to take. It's going to take forever, but it's worth it in the end. And we just expect now it's going to take 4 coats. 1 coat of primer and like 3 coats of paint, and it is what it is, and so you just roll with it. So literally roll with it. So that's our next project. In the meantime, we're still trying to finish up the boys' bedroom, so we'll head back inside now and show you what we got going on with that. Alright, so we are back now in the boys' bedroom. We've been working on this project for, I can't remember when.
It should be a lot nicer for how long we've been working on it.
Yeah. Part of what delayed us most recently was that Tom had originally agreed that we could just do board and batten on this wall so he didn't have to mud and tape it. Then he decided he wanted to mud and tape it, and now where did we land again?
Well, we pulled the camper back out. And kind of went over what all we need to do to that. So then I said, yeah, let's just put whatever we need to on that wall so that we can put our done stamp on it.
Right, so now we're back to board and batten, and so we ripped down a bunch of strips of MDF, and we're just going to use that like we did in the girls' bedroom. Tom doesn't like it, and some of the boards even they kind of separated, which...
Right, like that.
Oh. Yeah, so there's like that crack in it.
But that was like when I picked this board up at Menards, apparently it had that. It was basically like a separation bubble in the middle of the sheet that you wouldn't have ever known about. So
you'll have to work around those a little bit, but I think with the pattern we're doing, it'll probably work out. So Tom's gonna work on putting that up on this wall, and then I was painting the base trim downstairs, and so we can put that up and then trim out that window. I don't think we'll get that far today, but that's kind of what we have left to do. So, all right, so Tom got the perimeter on and the baseboard, which is looking good.
Yep.
So our pattern is being dictated by the lines that we're trying to cover up and the screw holes.
And the studs behind the wall.
And we're not recommending this as the proper way to finish a wall, right? We just need to be clear about that.
No, I mean, it may look like a stud wall when we're done.
It may look like what?
A stud wall when we're done.
Oh, that's what you think it looks like?
Dawn,
oh, it gives character.
It's going to, because it's the distance is the studs.
It's going to look good.
I didn't zoom.
All right. So Tom's going to put up the horizontal piece now. All right, let's see it. It's going to have character.
Oh, it'll have character. I think it'll have loads of character. We're using MDF. Of course it'll have character.
Yeah. It may not have quality, but it'll have character.
It'll be full of character.
All right, so Tom got the vertical ones on the bottom, and then we were trying to decide what to do on top, if we would just leave the top open and fill those holes. So what I'm thinking, Tom, is what if we do every other on top, and then I'm going to put picture frames in the gap. So starting here on this one and then go every other.
So it'll be that one, that one, that one.
Yeah, would that be okay with you?
Sure. I'm just trying to think what if those will be even.
Yeah, they're not gonna be perfect, but I think it'll work out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Is it gonna look good?
Yeah.
Do you like your beds like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as always, I'd kind of hoped we'd get a little bit further today, but it was not lack of effort.
That was a dig on me. I don't know if any of you heard that unverbal communication.
No, it wasn't.
Total dig.
No, it wasn't. It was just, we all know how projects just always take 12 times as long as you think they're gonna, right?
Well, Dawn, if we were true minimalists and we had all of our tools in one building.
So I want to answer a couple questions that have been coming up. So one question is, what is behind this wall that we've been putting the board and batten on? Like, why don't we extend the bedroom?
It's all our treasures. It's the stairwell.
it's the stairwell, so we can't go over it. We made actually this space in front of the closet door a little bit bigger.
Yeah, like 6 to 8 inches bigger.
But that was as far as we could go with that,
all
too.
we got, yep.
So, which leads to another question is, are your kids gonna outgrow this room? And it's meant to be like a 2 to 3 year plan, and then eventually we wanna build a new bedroom for them in the basement. So this
in the new basement when the house is moved. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So this isn't meant to be a forever space for them. I mean, hopefully then down the road it'll be a guest room or for foster kids or something else like that.
Oh, so this room's good enough for foster kids, not our own kids. You know, someone's gonna say it.
It's good for little kids is what it's designed for. Another question, do the boys hit their heads on the ceiling? We'll let them answer that one.
Nope. Only once.
Really?
We did it once when we first started doing this.
And then why aren't we using this closet that's in this bedroom for them for like their clothes and toys? A few reasons. It's not finished, it's not heated or cooled, and there's no light in there, so they think of it as like a scary closet. Like, and we just store like some office supplies and stuff in there. But also, it's so big, we know it would just become a dumping ground for them.
So the other thing is, so when Dawn says that it's so big, it's actually not that big. Like in the...
Well, it's relative.
No, I'm just saying, but because then people have said or will say, why don't you expand the bedroom into there?
Right.
It's not that big. As soon as you enter that closet, the ceiling slants.
Yeah.
So just that's the limiting factor of it.
Right.
If you're like 3 feet tall, it's a cool room, but beyond that.
Right, and it could have given us more space for the boys, but ultimately we decided since this room isn't a long-term fix for them, we didn't want to make this project any bigger. So, we got some cube shelves to put under here, and the boys had so much fun. I mean, Corbin, like, pretty much assembled them on his own, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I mean, they're cheap shelves, right? Like, they're just cheap, but...
So, you can use the drill for that part, too, but what I would do is I would just get the screw so it's sticking out the end a little bit, because these are pre-drilled, so then we can line it up with the hole that's already there. We got a little drill so that Corbin can do this. He did a good job with them though.
Yeah.
He only blew out one board, which I was like, hey dude, don't worry about it, we'll flip the board over, we'll hide that part of the board.
Yeah.
Because he like, I could tell instantly he beat himself up over it. I was like,
oh yeah. Right.
Because he put the screw in crooked.
Yeah.
But that's how you
But
learn.
other than that, he got them all in straight. And so we have a 2x3 cube shelf on each end that's going to be for their clothes. So we have canvas bins that'll go in that for their clothes. And then we wanted to give them like a little bit of toy storage or treasures, like just their own storage, whatever they want to put in there. So then we got some 1x3s. All right, Corbin, so we're gonna slide it into the middle over here and see if that looks like...
Slide it on my side
and put it across the middle like a table. If it'll fit. Will it fit between the... There you go.
Middle? Yeah, it will.
Okay, we got another one too, right? Oh, you're already ready to work on the next one, huh?
Hey, I'm just gonna start some of the scripts. No.
Gage wants to do his own, right? Gage, do you want to build your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open. No, Gage. I'm gonna open the box for you.
Oh, you got really the. Corbin's gonna have to show you how to do it, though. Is that okay?
Yeah.
He's a professional now. All right. So the boys said they do want this in the middle, like a table. We do have that like 2x4 there.
Yes. That is holding up the middle of the bed.
So that's an important piece.
Yep. So what I was planning on doing with this, even before we put it in, was making one tabletop for the whole thing, so it's just one flat
So like
surface.
a piece of wood?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can notch out around that.
Yeah, so my plan was, I kind of figured this was going to be in the way for butting these back to back.
Yeah.
My plan was to just make them fit the way this is, like
kind of the width of that thing, yeah.
And then
okay.
make one tabletop for it, because then we'll put puck lights under here, so they can have their own little space to eye each other down and build Legos faster.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, now you boys can get back to work, okay?
Gage, I'm just holding it up and you...
They're like, after all the years of Dad making us hand him tools and stuff, and no, we can't do it. Now they're like,
no, it's
full
our
speed
turn.
ahead.
Let's do it!
Get out of the way, Dad. I'm doing it.
He's kind of bossy. Where do you think he gets that from?
Yes. So Corbin is me right now. And Gage is just Gage.
We gotta pull it in, screw it in until we get it poking out a little bit, and then we can line it up. No, stop, we gotta line it up first, Gage. Come on! Screw already!
Are you gonna help out, Dad?
I don't know, I think I'll watch for a little bit.
You're just enjoying the play space down there?
Gage, you gotta push it!
Okay, whoa,
Okay, I think Daddy's gonna come. Which, like, what, 10 minutes after we had that together, you still have to get something to, like, make the top.
Yeah.
They were already under there playing Legos, and Maggie was in there, too, so.
They started hauling all the Legos up from downstairs.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, get that out of the main level.
And even before that, they've been playing up here and playing under here, where in the past they didn't really play in their room because there wasn't a lot of space for it.
I think once we get the puck lights underneath, and I had considered maybe do we try and do like some kind of a curtain thing, so if they wanted to
which some of you had mentioned
or
too.
Something.
Yeah, which I think we'll just see how it functions.
Just to make it cute, just to make a little fort out of it. Not that anything that I think it would look better or anything like that. I just so it'd be more fun for them.
Yeah. And then, one other question is there enough toe room here when they're climbing up the ladder? And so there's like, what, a good 2 inches here that it's outset?
We have a tape.
I mean, I don't know where the tape
3 inches.
Yeah. So when they climb up it, there's plenty of room. You can't, my hand's blocked. You put your hand on it to show. Yeah, there's plenty of room for them to walk up it, so that hasn't been a problem.
And I've actually seen them coming down it facing out.
Oh yeah, all the time they come down it. Yeah, so that's actually, it's working really well, and it's incredibly sturdy. I mean, Tom could hang on this. Well, I think you did when you.
I did, yes. The one negative, so I'm the negative one of the group. The negative of this bed is that they jump off it in the morning.
Yeah.
You tell them a million times, please stop jumping off your bed in the morning and waking up everyone in the house.
Yeah.
And you hear, ba-boom! Yep. And then, ba-boom!
But I want to show you, I found some fun monster truck prints on Etsy. And I thought they were kind of fun and fairly inexpensive. It's a digital download, and then like I'll send them to Walmart to get printed, but Tom said they were okay.
Sure. As a mom print, yep.
I don't know. It's, you know, you go back and forth. Like, obviously I want this to be a room for them and something they like, but you still want it to look kind of cute. Anyway, we'll see. We'll show you, hopefully next week we'll have a room reveal for you. And
if not, I don't think we're ever gonna.
Yeah.
Well, never gonna show it to you done.
No, well, not this, like, winter at least, because Tom is, like, ready to go, like, rip into the camper again, so, okay.
I'm actually more excited about ripping into the excursion than the camper. The camper is
right.
Like, meh.
Okay. That's it for this weekend then. We hope you have a really great weekend. Thank you for watching. Oh, friendly reminder, our Clutter-Free January playlist, I'll link that down below, but 20 YouTube friends, we all tackled kitchens this week, so if you need to do something productive, because that's the only thing we can control right now, tackle your kitchen, put that playlist on. You're gonna get lots of great ideas and just feel motivated and encouraged. And so I'll put a link down to that as well, but we hope you have a really great weekend.
Bye-bye.